200 people or so in the room, and I'd see a camera go up, I'd start and stop my speech really fast and smile. So I have too many of those pictures where I'm like,
I hate that.
right. So I got really good at just kind of stopping for a second, smiling, and going right back into my presentation. It's great. It's funny. Although my team they would all just snicker.
Do you mean
and
like
laugh.
this,
That's
Stephanie?
exactly what I was doing.
Do you mean like that?
Look. Yeah, like that. Exactly. We just delete that, Jill.
Yeah, I will right now. That's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. All right, great. All right, welcome everybody. Wow, it's 2014. Can you guys believe it is a brand new year? I know, it happens fast. It just goes really, really, really fast. So we wanted to start the year off right and get this moving immediately. I know a lot of people are still on vacation. Hello to those that are still on vacation, good for you. But real important to get things moving and happening and get our business going right away because there's so much going on. There's so much going on with people who want to lose weight. They're back in the gyms. As a gym owner, no. I mean, how many people are in the gym yesterday, today, tomorrow that weren't there last month? And they may or may not be there next month. Hopefully we can help them so that they stay and we can get them so they continue to work out. And that's just kind of what we want to do for people. It's like, let's just get them started off the right way. Get them moving, get them energized and excited to really care for their bodies and care about how they look and care about how they feel and sleep really good so that they have the energy to continue to work out, feel great, and not get sick, not call in to work and be able to do everything that they want to do. So that's part of the reason why we want to do this now because there's so many people doing their New Year's resolution. We also have our group cleanse happening. How many of you are on the group cleanse? Oh. Yes, yes, yes. We'll explain that in a minute. So that's huge and a big part of what we do. And then of course financially, who doesn't need more money right now to pay off for Christmas and pay off everything that happened last year or just wants more money? Right. So that's what we're going to kind of go over all three of those things. We're going to start this meeting off today with talking about a really special story, actually two very extremely special stories. And then we're going to go into a little bit about the products and then cover the income, what kind of money is involved, how to make that money, and exactly what Isagenix provides us. Then we'll take a tiny little break. If you are a guest, if you want to dive into the rest of our training portion, which are going to be talking about goals, your 90-day plan, how to get everything organized as to how to make this the best career for me, how to make this the best situation for me, how do I get my team in a good situation, and then finishing up with the Crystal Executive, which is the highest, most prestigious rank that company offers, how to get there and how to get there fast and make some really good income right away. So that's what's going to happen today. We're going to do the opportunity meeting in about a half an hour. Real fast, real simple. As our guest, welcome. Thank you guys so much for coming. If you guys have any questions, we love to answer questions. We love to be a part of everything and to really share with you the right way to make this work. I will introduce everybody as we get started and as the presenters speak, but we do have our famous leader and friend and sister and mom and the one really who started it for all of us. And so Jill Bauman and Andy Bowman, Jill and Andy Bowman started this for us just a little over 2 years ago. Is it maybe two? It's not a 2.5. It's two, just a little over 2.
It'll be 3 this summer in July.
Okay, so we're right around just right there. And it has really, really given all of us such an opportunity to change the way we behave, the way we act, the way we feel. Does anyone just really quickly want to give a one or two word description of how you feel and what the difference is now that we put Isagenix into our body?
Vitality.
Vitality, energy.
Transformed.
Happy.
Sleep better.
Sleep. Yeah. Lost weight.
Weight loss, yeah.
Yes.
Quick recovery and workout.
Yes. Absolutely. Exactly. Maybe you guys are set up.
No more joint
I'm just
pain.
Oh my sexiness, households change, income has been amazing, and we are going to be talking about that. I started, when Jill and I met, I was in the up and down of my career because I just had 3 babies. So it was the down part of the career, the up time of the family, and I'm like, no, I don't want to work again. I want to stay home with my family and my babies. And then everything kept kind of happening. She's like, that's fine, just let it happen organically. stress about it. And then pretty soon I dropped 20 pounds. And then I made about $2,000, and I'm like, oh, Jill, let's go. And I haven't made less than $2,000 in a month since that time period. And I have 3 small little babies at home, and they take a lot of time and a lot of energy, but the income is here. My income has ranged anywhere from the $2,000 a month up to over $12,000 in one single month. And I've been in it just a little over a year at this point. So whatever you're looking for, it is available. So whether it's all the different things that we've mentioned with how you feel, your brain, your happiness, how you look, or the income, is all available. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to introduce Angie Bilderback, AKA Angie Roller Coaster. Angie,
No more roller coaster.
Yeah. So, Angie is dressed up for a reason today. Today she's actually doing her Isogenics video, which will go live and it will go out on YouTube, and we hope that hundreds of thousands of people will actually see this video. Angie has lost and released forever 138 pounds. And started in March. And I mean, I know you're going to tell your story, but I watched the transformation. I get to see her every couple of weeks, and every time I get to see her, I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Really? Wow. But it's been absolutely such an amazing thing, because her whole thing about her life and her body and her family and everything has just changed. And to look at you, I mean, no one would have ever known that you lost that. When you don't have the hanging skin, you don't have any signs that I should go to a plastic surgeon and finish off what I did. And just happy and glowing, like some of the other products that are out there, people, when they lose that much weight, they don't necessarily look good. They're gray, and they get the sunken cheeks. You just look healthy and fabulous. And I mean, from the hair and the nails and teeth and everything is just beautiful, right in your eyes. So I'm going to turn it over to Angie and let her tell you her story.
Yay!
Yay!
Well, thank you. My name is Angie, aka Angie Roller Coaster. I have been struggling with a weight problem for about 20 years. In fact, I was actually told I was morbidly obese by the time I was 20 years old. And that's very hard to hear. Started having babies at a young age. The more babies I had, the more weight I gained. And I kept trying to lose the weight. The harder I tried to lose the weight, it seemed like the more I would either gain. I guarantee you there's probably not a thing out there that you can name of that I haven't tried in the course of the past 20 years. I either failed it or it failed me. It never worked. So I pretty much had given up all hope on ever releasing any weight whatsoever, and I started to even glutton myself more because there just was no hope at that point anymore. And then a beautiful angel introduced me to these products, and I'll be honest, for about 4 months I was like, there's no way I'm taking this stuff, you're crazy. There's no way it's going to work, nothing else has. I've tried competitors' products, nothing. Why would I want to waste, my time and my money? It's never going to work. And literally, it took her handing me a 30-day box and said, you're leaving with this, here you go. I was like, oh, great, I'm stuck in it now. Well, I took that 30-day box, I opened it up, said, well, I'll give it a try. I've tried everything else, why not this? After a couple of days, I'm calling Stephanie, like, oh my gosh, what is going on? I'm starting to lose weight. I think I lost like 12, 13 pounds in the first week, but it never stopped. It just kept going. And something kicked in around the 3rd or 4th month to where I just started feeling like I've never felt in my entire life, not even as a teenager. I felt young, vibrant, healthy. I went from being a person that was always trying to hide in the back of the room and afraid to get up and do things with my family and with my kids because I had fear that I wouldn't physically be able to where I'm like, let's go. And I'm out there and I'm doing things. I started this journey at a size 28. And I now wear a size 2. So I've lost 26 sizes.
Show your before picture.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
I've lost 26 sizes. I've done this in 8 months. You know, I'm building muscle now. I'm pretty much, I think I'm about done with the weight loss. But it's been an incredible journey. It's something, if you would have told me, Stephanie, 8 months ago that I'd be standing here in this dress telling this story, I would have said there's no way. But it has been amazing, and it's still almost hard for me to believe because it's happened so fast and things have changed so quickly. But it's been just the most beautiful blessing that's ever happened in my life. It's now affecting all of those in my family. My problems seem to run in my family. My dad is not even to 5 months in, and he's about to hit 100 pounds release.
Awesome.
He went from literally living in his recliner. He's been retired since he was at a very young age. Once he retired, he just pretty much sat in his recliner. He couldn't even get up. And he had told me about a year ago, he said, you know I don't have much time left. And I knew that if I ever found something that would work, this would save his life. It's not a matter of what I look like in the mirror. It's not a matter of if somebody's going to tease me or how I feel. It's a matter of living. It's not just, it's being able to get up and use the restroom and not be out of breath on your way to walk, just right there. So, and now, my dad, whom Stephanie's met, she was there today, he signed up. Now he's like, well, what's going on? Because you know what, the yard didn't even need mowing. I'm out there doing this and I'm doing that. And my mom's like, you know, this is just amazing. We can't believe the changes. So it's happening to my mom, it's happening to my dad, it's happening to my sister, it's happening to my nieces, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law.
Wow.
So what it started out about, well, I'll try it for me, but now it's what it's done for them. And there is nothing in this world I could ever ask for or want that's as beautiful as what I've seen happen in the last few months.
Oh, amazing. Wow.
So maybe, right?
Stephanie, talk about, she has entered into the Ice Body Challenge. And that, Stephanie talked about just real quickly, but that challenge, once a year they pick one winner in the whole world. We are all hoping and praying that she will be in the top. And if she wins, it's like a $200,000 overall in prizes and this and that, but this is most likely will be one of our top 6 finalists, and we're so fired up for you. And well deserved. And anyway, if she does it, she's a winner.
Yes.
Anyway, I mean, she's reclaiming her health and her life and her family, and way more than money can buy. But
Right. You can't buy the feeling
Yeah,
that I have
no.
right now. You can't buy it, ever.
No, well, you make me cry.
Well, thank you.
you should tell that story, girlfriends.
So that's a story that you should tell on the video. But what we have, especially for you guys as gym owners, to understand kind of some of the different things that are available. That's one of it. It's called an Ice and Body Challenge. And anybody, yes, you have a question?
You know what, that's how you
Yes,
change it.
one of my concerns,
You know what I mean?
awesome, you do, you look wonderful, you look great, but in an 8-month period, losing 140 pounds is almost unhealthy.
A lot of people say that.
And it is.
Do you want me to this is something I don't tell many people, but my back is broken in 6 places. Before this, I had to do a lot of crazy things just to get up and function and work through a day. I had high blood pressure, I needed surgery on both my knees, full knee replacement, as well as my tendons surgically shortened and reattached in both knees. I own a cleaning company, and it's not a glamorous job, but it's what I do. I was looking at, I had maybe 1 to 2 years left of being able to work the business. I felt horrible. I couldn't do the things that I'm doing now 8 months ago. The way I feel is unbelievable. I forget that I even had anything wrong with my knees. My back, I'm doing things at the gym that...
So
What
you
you
worked
told me
out
you
a
did
lot.
yesterday, you did 1,000
That was
leg lifts.
on Wednesday.
And
5 side kicks
sit-ups.
and 1,000 side
500,
kicks. At the end of an hour and a
sit-ups.
half class, she did 1,000 side kicks and 500
But
kicks.
But it's still not.
But let's go, I love his question,
It's
your
still
question is
not
brilliant.
Let's,
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's answer the
And it's a
question.
question, and that's kind of why I want to talk about, you know, what a
That's
lot of people
16
do
pounds a
that.
month. You gotta look at it this way. On average, for a competitor, anyone doing it's a pound a week is what's normal and healthy, based upon the US standard.
There you go.
She lost 16 pounds a month. 16 and a quarter, give or take.
Yep.
So that's roughly, what, 2 pounds a week, give or take? So, it's not bad. The thing is, a lot of that can also be water weight. Unless you start to measure her, and what her lean mass was, that's where the problem lies. People that lose weight too quick, I know exactly what you're saying, because I've seen it. And I've seen
So,
people do
and
it.
that's what I'm saying.
And
Yeah.
Angie's diet completely changed, so
But her
when we
lean
first
mass,
met, she
just
was
by looking at her,
doing.
you can tell the difference.
Oh yeah, well, you look very healthy,
Right, yeah.
but it's just one of my
Right.
concerns is
Well,
like,
and think about this though. I mean, as an Ice Body challenge, I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, that's like on the huge side of rewarding, why people are watching The Biggest Loser on TV. I mean, people like to see, you know, massive, measurements of success, but the idealistic thing is everybody, whether it's, I mean, I didn't even realize I was overweight. 12 pounds I lost in 10 or 11 days, and I've kept it off since May, until I started training with Joe, and I put on mass body weight this past summer.
That's the good way.
You know, it's a good way, but you gotta think about the mass of everyday people that think the 99-cent meal is good, and they're 10 or 15 or 30 pounds overweight. My father, who's 72, is down 30 pounds, in 60 some days, and, he wants to lose 15 more. You've seen my father.
Is
So
it safe
you've
to
got
say
extremes.
the nutrition that they're consuming in their bodies has a great deal to do with the safety of losing weight that quickly?
Because that's what you have to think about, what you have to think about is that all isogenics is food. That's all it is. So when people lose 80 pounds on that HCG
I
diet.
did that, it was
Right,
And you
that's
see it,
unhealthy
you see it in their
because
face.
people then, they're reducing the caloric intake to about 500 to 600 calories a day.
fine.
About 500 calories a day. And it was this massive amount of weight. It's not sustainable. That's unhealthy. When you do isogenics, the difference is that you're not keeping a very low calorie. You're keeping a normal caloric intake that's healthy for your body, as well as putting vitamins and minerals. One shake is equivalent to the nutrients in 3 plated meals. So you're getting all the nutrients and vitamins and enzymes that you need in this. And I think that's a difference where watching it, and we call it releasing, and I understand that because you release the weight. It's not about losing it, you're releasing it naturally for the body type.
Okay, but
And
now,
then in the first 6 months, she didn't even work it out.
I didn't start working out till
I know, but I can almost 100% guarantee that okay, so you took isogenics, correct? I can guarantee you that you didn't just flip your nutritional value right away. You were eating the same stuff you were eating now.
No, she did.
That's incorrect.
Yeah.
Now, a normal person, like, because you were really wanting it, would not just flip their diet right away. Because I know I wouldn't.
Well, here's the thing, something clicks, if you just actualize, she had told me, give it 2 weeks. Just give it 2 weeks. Whatever you do, stick with it 2 weeks. I said, okay, I'll do it. Something clicks. I honestly cannot tell you what it is, but something happens up here where within 2 weeks in, you don't want anything but clean, healthy foods.
But were
I
you still
actually-
hungry?
Well, here.
Oh, no, I eat like crazy.
She was nutritious.
May I interject? Let me interject.
Don't think so.
Here, listen, there's something to be said about the human body, right? That most people don't have any acknowledgement of whatsoever. It takes 21 days approximately to change a habit. So in this first week or first 2 weeks, if someone, anyone, no matter what their size is giving something a shot, they might not still, I didn't stop eating a cheeseburger or a slice of pizza. When I did the first 11-day cleanse, I'm like, I wasn't gonna do 30, right? I first like, oh, okay, and I in the first couple days, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be hungry. I'm not giving up food, by the way. Let's be very clear whether what the program is if you haven't looked into it.
He looks at me, he goes, no.
No, it's not be clear. I mean, let's be clear. You're not, even in any of the 11-day or 30-day, you're doing 2 optional meals of 400 to 600 calories, and your shake. You're doing 2 shakes and a 400 to 600 calorie meal. So you're not giving up any regular food. If for 400 to 600 calories, you want a large fry, okay? And I'm sure it's not recommended, but whatever meets 400 to 600 calories twice a day, I still lost 12 pounds and I had the glass of wine, which was 100 calories, or a grilled cheese sandwich. It's what works for everyone's individual lifestyle. She was aggressively going for a lot of weight loss. where my body wasn't requiring it. I think that's what I was pointing out before, is everybody's differences. This program, from a food standpoint, meets the needs of each person's individual patterns.
I like my vodka Red Bulls.
And you know what? I had 3 last night. And the steak at Ruth's. And the fries at Ruth's. And the side lobster. I mean, I don't know.
So this is a good segue into the products. Linda speak. And Linda started off as another mom from the school when we met Jill. And she's like, you know,
She was one of my biggest skeptics.
She was a skeptic. She's like, I do.
Look at her
order
now.
vegetables chose from a different company. What difference is this going to make for me when I can do other things that are already at my house that I've already paid for?
Let me tell you what happened. So we're walking, Jill started this walking group, I'm new to Phoenix, and I said, it's a great way to meet moms. I'll walk with them and then go do my real workout. So Jill was, she had these little isogenics products, and I said, no, you just gotta eat right and work out harder. I was training for a half marathon, but being over 40, I just found I was gaining weight, 5, 10, 12 pounds. And I had an event to go to in November, and I said, okay, fine, if I can lose 6 pounds in a couple weeks, I'm gonna get my money back in 30 days, will you still walk with me? And they said yes, because they knew, this was a year ago, once I get this stuff into my body, I was never gonna lose that. So in 6 weeks, I went from a 6 to a 2, which it wasn't even about the size, it was like I released it in areas that I never could get off of my life. So that's when you release in your body, releases the waste where it needs to be released. Being an athlete, in terms of something, I'm like a weekend warrior, I guess. I run, I was doing 2 shakes a day and I've done 2 meals. So, but it improved my endurance. So I just ran the New York Marathon 2 months ago. I would never even consider running another marathon in my life. And New York is a pretty decent, challenging one. And I did it in my fastest time. I actually took off 47 minutes. Here's what it is. The company is a solution-based products for weight loss, which we've just talked about, for energy and endurance for athletes. So if you're somebody who, whether you're a weekend warrior or you're somebody who really wants to take off some serious time with your performance, you want to be on these products. It's also for healthy aging. So my parents are on the products, so they have more vitality and will live longer. And it's also for wealth creation. So for somebody who are here and they're looking to make a few extra bucks, this is what it's for. So what I'm just going to talk, there's lots of products in Isogenics, and they all work really well together. But there's 5 that are called the 5 pillars of health. And what they are: the shakes, the ionics, the cleanse, and then you have the vitamins with product B. Okay? This is all in one, but some people just get vitamins and they have that separate with animal. So the shakes, as I said before, 1 shake is equal to 3 plated meals, and nutrients in 3 plated meals. And when I first did this, I would just say, it's magic. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand the science behind it. I was the one to just say, put it in my body and ask questions later. That's the type of person I am. So I didn't really understand the science behind it, but as I've been in on a year now, you begin to learn that there's so much nutrition in this 1 shake. It is a complete meal replacement. It's not like a lot of those other shakes out there that aren't meal replacements. It's a great combination of fats, carbohydrates, and proteins all together. So unfortunately in our society, our food's depleted. They did a study. They took an orange, and these scientists went to go find out how much vitamin C was in this orange, and you know what? They found nothing. They're like, what the heck? They sent it to another lab, and they said, what's due to these oranges? There's no vitamin C in it. So these scientists began to realize when you pick fruit off a tree, and it gets shipped, and it's going to your grocery stores, it's depleted. Or even if you buy organic, once it leaves the farm, within, 48 hours, it's 2 days, 50% of the nutrients are depleted. So here we're giving our kids, pardon?
Most of the vitamins are in the skin, not in the thing itself.
Right, but it's still losing, no matter unless you're growing your garden fresh in your home, you're picking it and eating it, we're losing nutrients, and then we're eating over-processed foods. So for me, this is where I got, when people say, I feel great, what's going on? Well, you're feeding your body. You're finally feeding your body. So that's the shakes. That's one of our main pillars. Then you have Ionic Supreme, and seriously, for like 8 months, I was like, what the heck is an adaptogen, right? Because these are adaptogens. And one of our friends finally explained to me what an adaptogen is. It just means it's medicinal plants. So for over the centuries, there are certain plants that have medicinal values that have been proven to work. And they've taken it and put it into Ionic Supreme. And what this works for is for stress in our bodies, whether it's from everyday stress or whether it's from the stress for working out. And that was pretty big for me because I wasn't really thinking too much about a product and I ran out of it. And that's when I realized how much it did make a difference in my workouts. So I will not go without my Ionics every day. And on a side note, my mother makes sure my dad gets this twice a day. So, it really kind of just, for a lot of people, it just takes that edge off. And it also increases your energy. So I have a friend who is a huge soda drinker, more for caffeine properties. 3 days on Isogenics, she was going to soda on Isogenics, and she goes, what is in that stuff? Is it speed? So your body is really reacting to this. And this is somebody who's putting a lot of that artificial caffeine into her body. Okay, and then vitamins. I don't want to say vitamins or vitamins because, as you know, not all vitamins are created equal. And so if you are an athlete, you need vitamins in your body. And these are just multivitamins, which there's not much to say. It's multivitamins, everything you need. If you watch Dr. Oz, everything Dr. Oz says you need a vitamin is in Isogenics. The only thing that's really different is Product B, because Product B works on telomere support. So we have our DNA, these little strands of DNA. And there's a lot of those DNA are these little coils, these springs. So when we're born, how many are we born with? We're born with 10,000 of these little springs at the end of our DNA. And when we die, it's down to 5,000. And so there was award-winning research that found that out, that if we could prolong the life of the telomeres on our strands of DNA, then we age well and we live longer. And so Product B was created based on that research. And you look at Jill, she looks fabulous. And she's a big proponent of Product B, but people will say they don't live without it. They feel better, they look better, they start looking younger. So that's one of our products. And then of course you have the cleanse. So I think, again, Isogenics is dummy proof. If you do a 30-day system, it's everything you need to get the results you want. And it's really not difficult to follow because you feel so great while you're doing it. You don't feel like you're dieting. And you begin to learn that it's a lifestyle. You begin to understand that when you are on Isogenics for more than 30 days, you don't use the word diet anymore because it becomes a lifestyle. You just feel great. You can have your drinks and still have success, right? But the cleanse part is that in the world that we live in with toxins, we're constantly bombarded, whether it's in our food, in our air, in our water. So at some point, you need to be able to release those toxins. And they developed a means to do that, and which is with our cleanse. And so you take the cleanse 4 times a day. You do not eat on those days. And they also have some other things to support that, which is a natural accelerator. We have some ice snacks that keep your blood levels stable through that day, so you don't go out and kill your children, because that wouldn't be good. So when you're cleansing, they give a lot of supports that feel good. And actually, I have more energy on my cleanse days because I'm giving my body a break from digesting, than I do on the days I'm not cleansing sometimes. And my dad, who's 73, rocks his cleanse days, and he's done 2 in a row. He's like, can I do 3? And I'm like, no, Dad, you do 2, because what happens is that if you do 2 cleanse days in a row, you will begin to build your human growth hormone by, I think it's 200%. And so if you're a bodybuilder or an athlete, you want to start building that lean muscle mass, and this is what's going to help you do it. And I have a friend, Rob Dollar, who is on the products as well, and he said before Isogenics, he would fast once a week in order to do that. So everything what I've learned over the year with Isogenics is research and scientifically based. So if you have lots of questions, you can look and say, well, why would they do that? Why would they have them fast for a day or 2 days? There's research that proves why it does it and why it works and why it makes it successful. So some people have been more looking into that, and other people say, oh, put in our bodies, we'll try it, and I feel fabulous, and it works. Other people want a little bit more information. There's lots of information on the website. But I'm really just focusing on, again, the 5 pillars of health. And I'll pass this around, because I just think it's a nice little brochure you can get in your back office that talks about each of those individual products. And then, again, like there's other things, but I don't want to get into everything because, again, there's the weight loss products, there's products for the athletes that are a little bit different, but that's going to get more in depth another time.
So what are those 5 products?
These are considered, no, this is for actually, what you would do would be set up depending on what your goals are. So if you're doing weight loss, you would do 2 shakes a day with a meal, right? With maybe some snacks in between. If you're an athlete, you would do 2 shakes a day at least, and 2 meals. Because you need more protein and you need more calories because you're burning them so much. Some athletes, like Rob Dog, they'll do 3 shakes a day. So we have a lot of triathletes who are on the products. So it just depends on what type of activity you're doing. I mean, if I go to, right now I do 2 shakes a day and 2 meals, but I do like extreme classes, and I'm working out for an hour and a half, and I'm burning a lot of calories. So that's one thing that's different. How you would work the products. And that's really the cleanse you still would do. For an athlete, you probably would only do a 1-day cleanse, but you still could do a 2-day. But a 1-day cleanse once a week would be great. But if you're looking to lose weight, then some people, if they can get through the 2 days, then 2 days is optimal. Because the fat burning happens in the second day.
Hey, Joe.
80% of fat.
Who was the bodybuilder that was shown at the last showcase that used the cleanse 3 days before to burn off all the weight?
Was he at one of our events?
Yeah, it was the last Phoenix event.
Oh,
Robert
Robert
Spector.
Spector. Yeah, he finished 6th.
And what's interesting too, one of the bodybuilders talked about how, if you know anything about bodybuilding competitions, afterwards they just gorge, right? And then they gain all the way back within like a day or 2 because they just really were so strict in their diet up until the event. And she started using the products right after her event, and she's like, I didn't gain as much weight because I wasn't craving it. I wasn't feeling like I was feeling deprived, and she was using the cleanse, which really helped. I guess there's a lot of issues with bloating when there's for
It's also,
competitions.
if you cut water into products like sodium, the body's gonna react to one. The stories like that you hear are totally based upon the nutritionists or the dietitian or whoever helped their diet.
Right,
If you're gonna blow after a show, that's because you did it wrong.
right.
It's that simple. You don't
It's just, that brings in whole psychology aspect. Yeah, so, but that was a great question, and I'm glad you brought it up, because that's why, these are the 5 pillars, whether you are an athlete or losing weight, one of those 5 products are going into your body on a daily basis, and especially vitamins.
So now one thing is there fat? So losing weight is great. The numbers are awesome and they come off, and I love the way it works. When you lose weight, in my business and what we do, what I look for is lean body mass. If you're growing, putting on muscle, and you're dropping pounds, are you losing, how much body fat are you losing, how much muscle are you retaining, or how much you're putting on? If you're dropping weight and losing muscle at the same time, granted maybe it's a couple of pounds here and there, there's a problem.
Of course.
You never want to go in that direction. So other than just not training, if you're not training, you're atrophying and you're dropping weight, so you're burning something other than fat.
Right.
So my question is, where does this come into place, and what do you take, and do they have proof that, okay, other than, if we measure you for lean body mass, that it's working? Because I've heard millions of stories about people losing weight. I know a couple of trainers with the biggest loser, and I've seen these guys and I've talked to them, yeah, they look great, but how much lean muscle would you guys actually keep? And that's one question that everybody wants to avoid.
And that's a great question. Do you want to answer?
Well, actually, what I think we need to do is do a separate training on that, because that's really a whole other training all on its own. And Jill is one of the perfect ones to invite